You may not know me, but I'm Bill Bunker. Some of you might recognize me from around the Chicago office. Perhaps you've seen me getting coffee in the morning, in the men's room, or maybe even in an actual work-related meeting. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sure, this guy's among the best and the brightest, but what does he really know about television? Well, I was thinking the same thing. So, with the rest of my team of volunteers supporting me, we set off on a mission to move the ideas and principles of Merrill Lynch Capital from the boardroom to the living rooms of America through the medium that over the years has been used so effectively by great communicators like Edward R. Murrow, Ed Sullivan, and even Paris Hilton. But the big question was how. We initially considered a few different concepts. Just bought myself a brand new Dodge Caravan. Thanks very much. Looking at me like, this guy's doing well for himself. You know, people make fun of you when you get the minivan, but they're not bad cars. You know, you get some of the extras. I got mine straight from the factory with the word loser already detailed into the side panel. This way, people don't need to guess what's happening as they pass me by. My wife and I have been married 8 years, and we have 3 beautiful small children. Sometimes people applaud when you say that. Apparently you people hate children so much. Actually, I'm always confused by the applause. I don't know whether people are applauding because of the kids or they just can't believe a guy like me has had sex 3 times in 8 years. I had to go back and do the math on that one. Man, when you have small children, people want nothing to do with you. You even have to eat in your own restaurants, you know, family restaurants. You ever been to a family restaurant? If you haven't, they're like regular restaurants, only the food is bad and you get a pack of crayons when you sit down. They do serve alcohol at these places, which makes them tolerable. I mean, you ever order a beer at one of these family restaurants, you get 2 choices, the 4-ounce cup or the 30-gallon oil drum. I'm even offended they ask me. It's like, you see me sitting here with these kids? If you got Quaaludes back there, send them out, too. You have a reservation with us today, sir?
I do.
I would need a name in order to check the reservation.
Well, it's me.
Sir, reservations are done under last name. I'm just going to need a last
Jim
name.
Gaffigan. It's Joker, too. Probably have me in
I'm showing
suite.
nothing under Gaffigan.
You know what? Is there kind of a VIP, probably a presidential suite?
Can I see some identification?
Oh. Yeah, gotta make sure I'm not an imposter. There you go.
Yes, I'm showing nothing under Gaffigan. There's one list for all of our guests, and your name, unfortunately, is not on that list.
Is there, you know what? Can you check under Gaffigan?
What names are there?
Gaffigan. Sometimes people, they, you know, over the phone, it's like, Gaffigan.
There's nothing under Gaffigan
Well,
or Gaffigan.
You didn't really check under Gaffigan.
I can tell you
Okay.
quite certain, sir, that
All right.
there's no Gaffigan.
Well, you know, maybe it's not under those names, but maybe it's under George Washington.
Sir.
How about that?
Please, I'm going to have to ask you to put that dollar back into your pocket.
All right. Well, hey, I dropped it.
Sir, I need to give this back to you.
All right. Huh? You know, all right.
As I said, I've checked the reservation.
It's just
numerous
something that
times.
might facilitate things.
I checked under the name you gave me.
All right. All right. Well, I don't. You know. All right. Fine. All right. Can I talk to your manager?
I am the manager. If you have something to say, you can just tell me. I did do a lot of things growing up I didn't like doing. One of them, I was in the Boy Scouts. Anybody out there ever a Boy Scout? Oh, yeah? Yeah. They still have this thing. They used to have this thing in the Boy Scouts, the Pinewood Derby. Yeah. Pinewood Derby is this thing where you're 10 years old and you show up one day and they give you a block of wood, tell you to go home and make a car out of it. It's like, hey, I'm 10. I barely use a fork. Now I got to be Henry Ford back in my garage, you know. This thing's a sham, too, because it's not even about kids making cars. It's really about whose dad has the best set of tools at home. It's kind of on my own for this. I had to root around the kitchen, find some knife. I was able to just sort of round the back a little bit, slope the front, brought it, called it a minivan, and didn't win the race, but got a safety recognition award, which I was very proud of. I love these contests. There's always like one kid in the troupe whose dad just happens to be an engineer with NASA, you know. Supposed to believe he had no help in the construction of his car when halfway down the track, 2 little liquid nitrogen boosters shoot off either side. His little wooden car breaks the sound barrier over the finish line, setting my car on fire in the process. As I said, I like beer. I'm not so sure I like beer companies. They seem kind of arrogant about their product, don't they? You know, what is Miller, the champagne of beers? Budweiser, the actual king of beers? Oh, is that so, Your Majesty? You know, weren't you the same beer being regurgitated onto the fraternity house floor last Saturday night? Guess we weren't feeling quite so regal then, were we? Budweiser also does this thing now, this really weird thing where they put the date the beer was made on. Only they don't call it the made date. What do they call it? The born on date. Yeah. Just when did beer enter the circle of life? How did that happen? And how far am I supposed to take this? You know, born on January 6th, 06. What is today? January 29th. The day the beer will be reincarnated as a stream of urine in the back bathroom of Zany's.